Are you a filmmaker? Do you want to make some money? Do you want to grow your filmmaking business? Well, pin those ears all the way back, listen up, because you might be ignoring a social media, which is a great place for you to grow your video production business or grow your earnings as a video freelancer. Lock in, we're going to get into it. Okay, so what social media am I talking about? I'm talking about LinkedIn. As filmmakers, we often think our best medium to post work on is those platforms, those social media platforms, which are more heavily weighted towards visuals. So platforms like Instagram and TikTok. However, I've been operating a strategy where I've been focusing on building a different social media, and it's helped me exponentially grow my video production business. And that social media is LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn on the surface isn't quite as sexy and glamorous as the TikToks and the Instagrams look. And also it's a professional network. And the main medium that you'll see on there might not always be video. It is an extremely powerful location for you to grow your video production business or grow your income and your earnings and opportunities as a video freelancer. And I'm going to break down exactly why that is. Over the last year, I've focused very heavily on LinkedIn. And in that period, I've seen exponential growth of opportunities and much larger scale opportunities come from generating inquiries via LinkedIn. And the first reason why LinkedIn is a great place to grow as a videographer or a filmmaker or a creative is because it isn't as saturated on that platform with that type of content. So if you're a creative and you're posting work on there, it's much easier to stand out than it is in something like an Instagram, which is lots and lots of really high quality creative work. If you're posting high quality creative work on LinkedIn, where there isn't a massive amount of it, you're really going to shine through and stand out on there. And because of that, it leads me on to what can happen more easily in part 2 as to why you should focus on LinkedIn. And that's because it gives you opportunities for virality more easily than some of these other platforms. And that virality doesn't have to be millions and millions of views or engagements, but only 100 or a couple of hundred, and that can really make a massive impact and start creating opportunities for you. The way LinkedIn works is when you post a piece of content, your immediate connections, the people that you're connected to, and your followers will be able to see that work. When that happens, if they engage with it, then that engagement in the form of a like or a love or a comment will come up on your post. After that happens, everybody in that person's connection pool can then see that that person has engaged with that post. So all of a sudden, if you've got a couple of thousand connections and then you're connected with somebody with 10,000 connections and they like your post, that then pushes your post out to all of their connections. So you can see here how quickly you can build momentum and reach from LinkedIn. The other thing is because those individuals that like or comment on your things, when it is pushed out to their audience can see that that person has also liked and engaged with it. Now, if somebody has done that and they have a large following or a decent following or connections, even if it's, they might have 500 connections, but they're strong connections, they're people that they know and that trust them, and they see that they've engaged with your piece of work, that adds a real strong level of social proofing to how good this work is and makes people more inclined that are out of their network to engage with your piece of content. With only a handful of likes and comments, all of a sudden, if those likes and comments are from some people with reasonably decent followings, you can get massive reach on your posts. Now, that reach might not be the same as TikTok, for example, where you might hit something and it gets thousands and thousands of views or millions. However, what you have to consider is even if you have a post that gets, 50 engagements of likes and comments on it, and then that goes to a pool of 10,000, 15,000 people that it spreads that out to and builds those impressions, all those people that it goes out to are all people that are in business and they're looking on LinkedIn as a professional network with a focus on business. So if they're seeing your work in a professional context and they're seeing it get engaged and getting visibility of it, and they're in their professional context, then the probability of you winning a piece of business from that is much higher. Because if you curate and build a connection list which is relevant to the people that you're trying to sell to, then the chances are that you will get visibility of your post to somebody that's going to make a decision to buy from you. So whilst the reach might be slightly smaller than something like an Instagram and a TikTok, the reach of the people that you're actually communicating with is much richer in terms of individuals that can bring you opportunities. And that leads me on to point number 3 here, which is building following or connections is a little bit different on LinkedIn than it is on other platforms. But before I go on to my next point, I just want to call you out, you little rascals, you cheeky little sausages there. I've noticed that the majority of people that watch this video actually aren't subscribed. Now, what I would ask is if you're finding some value in this video or you found some value in the videos that you've watched before, I would be really grateful and appreciative if you just oil that head up, warm it up, drop a little headbutt on that subscribe button and join the community here, because it really helps this channel grow and it helps me continue to make these videos. I, of course, am very grateful and appreciative for your time and attention watching these videos, but if you would go that extra step, I would be even more grateful and even more appreciative. Thank you, and let's continue video. Bosh. On other platforms like TikTok and Instagram, it's very much about the follow. So if you follow somebody, they have to follow you back. Now, on LinkedIn, it's all about connections. So you can look through people in organizations. So say you're interested in selling to automotive, you can look at people that work in Jaguar Land Rover or Audi or BMW. You can see who's working there in the marketing department, and you can connect with those individual people. Now, those connections aren't like a follow on Instagram or TikTok. They're a little bit different, because when you connect with somebody, it's even. It's like you are a connection. So that's one part of LinkedIn and the connections. However, there is also another factor, which is following. Now, you can choose to follow other people, and other people can choose to follow you without connecting. However, a connection is always counted as a follower for you. So even if you had 5,000 connections, but then people saw your work that you posted and chose to follow you, you would still have 5,000 connections, but you could have 7,000 followers. So when it is posted on your profile, your volume of followers are your connections and the people that follow you. So all of a sudden, you can bolster the pool of people that are seeing your content, and also bolster and build the audience that you have in your connection pool and follower pool. And that follower stroke connection pool can be built pretty organically over a number of months without having to do anything particularly crazy in terms of volume of content. You can post a small amount of content or no content at all and keep building that connection pool. My advice would be, don't post nothing at all and just have an incognito profile, because people want to know who they're connecting to, and your probability of people accepting that connection request is going to be higher if they can see your face, you're active regularly, and they can see some of the work that you do on your profile. And that leads me on to the other thing about LinkedIn, which is slightly different to other platforms, which can be helpful for videographers and filmmakers, and that is being able to build story and connection with people without always having to post visual content. Now, if you're looking at an Instagram or a TikTok, it's very reliant on you to post a video and a photo. And whilst it has got easier and easier as time has gone on to create that kind of content, it still has a higher level of effort required than something like an image or a text written post. Now, on LinkedIn, there is a pretty even split between what gets engaged between video, photo, carousel, and text post. If you add text with those other factors, so photo, video, etc., your post will have a higher probability of going viral and getting more visibility. But if you think about it, when you're looking at Instagram or TikTok, really everything is focused now on video, on short form video. And even though they can be produced much more quickly, they can still take quite a bit of effort to make. On LinkedIn, you can post a photo and add some written commentary around it, and that could have an equal amount of chance to be successful and get visibility than a post which would be a short form video, which would take more effort. A perfect example is I posted a photo on LinkedIn recently of 3 stills, which was 3 cameras from an interview setup I did with Wayne Rooney when I went and filmed him the other day. I'll be posting a video about that soon. I did a few lines of commentary just saying it was great to meet him, an awesome opportunity. I thanked him and the team at the football club that we were filming it on behalf of for the hospitality that they gave us, and sent it onto LinkedIn. And it was by far the biggest, most engaged piece that I had. Now, this post was dead simple. If you were to post something like this on a different platform, I'm sure it wouldn't have had the same impact or impressions because it was just a still with a bit of text. However, on LinkedIn, it had much more reach. It had nearly 12 to 13,000 impressions on it. And subsequently, as a result of posting this, I've had a number of people reach out to me directly into my DMs regarding this project and future projects. So you can see there an example of a text and image post that has been quite successful. The other thing that's great about LinkedIn is you don't always just have to be posting your work. A lot of the times what I'll post is throwback to when I was starting this business with my business partner, or throwbacks all the way to entrepreneurial ventures that I had in school. Now, what those things do is they help build a narrative around myself, my personal brand on that platform. But when I'm doing that, I don't actually have to create short form video or long form video. I can just post it as photos and a bit of text. So the effort is much smaller than it would be to post on another platform. So you can see here with LinkedIn, you get quite a lot of bang for your buck. You can create content much faster and much more simply. That doesn't mean disregard video, still post video on there, but you can get away with doing maybe one video a week, and then the rest of the posts that you do can be text and image based. And even in doing that, you will continue to have success growing your LinkedIn. And just to build on that point of generating sales opportunities, it isn't just people that can contact you. Once you've got that connection pool, so say you wanted to work in automotive and you connected with the marketing director and the marketing managers for various car companies, you then can reach out to them directly via LinkedIn. And if you're posting regularly, they're going to be familiar with who you are. So that's going to be an easier communication to open with them. I recently had an example where I reached out to a guy who works a lot in the combat sports space, and I reached out to him, dropped him a few examples of work. He said, drop me an email, and now we've booked to have a conversation in a few weeks' time. Do yourself a favor, don't miss out on LinkedIn. It can be a really great way to grow your video business and grow your opportunities as a freelancer filmmaker. But that is it for this one. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, headbutt the subscribe button, and punch a little comment in the comment section. Why the fuck not? And I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.